Welcome back, my little cubbies. I've got a big fish for you today. I've caught a big one, boys. I've caught a big one. I've caught the magical rainbow fish. It's Julian K versus Revnax. And Julian K is playing Sweden. This is a ladder game. This is on the ranked ladder, and Julian is playing Sweden, y'all. Going against Revnax, France. France considered one of the best civs in the game at the moment. They're 12-10 into 4 CDBs is crazy strong. They obviously have like the best natives in the game as well. They've got the best lots of things. So yeah, France considered probably top 3, top 4 civ in the game at the moment. I think it goes something like Aztec, Brits. I mean, everyone has a different opinion, but it goes something like Aztec, Brits, France, Otto, Spain, Lakota. You know, they're my S-tier civs. Maybe Italy. I'm not entirely sure on that. So yeah, France definitely up there at the moment. While Sweden obviously considered one of the weaker civs, you know, in the bottom set of civs like Japan, Russia, Sweden, Malta maybe. So yeah, bit of a top tier, bottom tier, civilization-y kind of matchup going on there, but we'll see. But there's kind of been a bit of a resurgence with Sweden. We've seen Kurt's boy, who's like ranked 2 at the moment on the ladder. He's been playing a lot of Sweden, and he's been winning with Sweden. And we've seen this new meta develop with Sweden, which involves the treaty card, going into those early halberdiers, into kind of a semi-FF, Savalax, Jaeger kind of build. So we'll see how Julian plays this. Julian being, you know, one of the best players in the game. Some regard him as the best. He's currently around rank 3 or 4th on the ladder. So yeah, this should be a good one. 12-10 coming in here for Revnax, of course. So 600 food. He'll be aging up around 2 minutes 15. You can see there he's killed all of the herds in a way where he can split them evenly with the villagers. So he doesn't gather one herd too quickly, which means if he gathers it too quickly, it means the villagers have to move because they have to go after other food. And obviously, you want to minimize the time villagers are walking. So by minimizing the time they're walking, the quicker they gather, which means the quicker you age up. And you can see that age up timing is crazy there. So a bit of a top tip for you there, guys. At the beginning of the game, the objective is to age up as quickly as possible, but with a good eco. And the way to minimize that, the walking distance between villagers, because if a villager is walking, you got 5 villagers that walk for 2 seconds each. That's 10 seconds worth of not gathering. That's 10 seconds you age up slower. So by killing all of the herds at the start, not necessarily all of them, but like a few at the start and then a couple later on, and you herd well. And you can see how closely all of these herds are around his base. So that is a really good example of the closer they are as well means less walking distance for a villager that gets spawned from the town center. So any villagers spawned from the town center don't have to walk very far as well. So very good top tip for you there, guys. Don't be afraid to kill a lot of herds early on. You don't want lots of villagers gathered around one herd because that just means it's more walking time. Okay, top tip out of the way. And top build order coming in. Nats W. Man is confident with the win here, and he's going for his native build. And yeah, I mean, you don't see this card very often. I do like using this card. Ancient Regime coming in. I don't like this card with the 12-10. I prefer the 14 villager age up with this card, because by the time you age up with 14 vills, this card essentially gets built. It's already built. And you can see here, he's been aged up for like, what? He's going to be aged up for like 20 seconds at least before he actually gets to make a unit. There it comes. Now he gets to make a unit. Whilst with the 14, you can kind of negate a lot of that already. It's still quicker this way, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Okay, 4 vills first shipment in age 2. And he does, again, you don't get that straight away. He didn't have that straight away there. He's going for a second TP, which is interesting. No House of Vaza or House of Wettin just yet, but we're going to see some early Royal Musketeers. If he gets 5 Royal Musketeers out from a 12-10, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, these are more expensive than a normal Musketeer by a good, like, 15 coins. So, good macro there. Needs to get a villager in queue, though. There he goes. So, 4 minutes 55, 5 minutes essentially. He's going to have 5 Royal Musketeers in his base. And 5 Royal Musketeers with their charged ability kills a villager in 1 hit. So you've got to be careful about that. But you can see here, look at this. 2 Royal Musketeers already down due to the outpost and the town center defense. Julian making sure he's got the maximum of 10. No more, but no less. Wants to maximize killing these Royal Musketeers as quick as possible. He will gain a hero, 45 XP from it, but basically loses everything for it. So not a great starting pressure here by Revnax, wasting those 5 Musketeers. Okay, so what's Julian up to here? Julian going for... Wait, what's he doing here? Okay, so he's gone for Dominions, 700 coins, 700 wood. Is he just going for greedy FF here? I think he is. And he's going to get away with it as well. Wow. He did go for a TP. I don't know if he went for a starting TP. You guys can obviously say in the comments because I didn't see it at the start, but he might have had. Julian wants to make sure he's... So all of these torps should be gathering lots of food. He's got a couple of torps at the back not gathering, and he's got these torps here not gathering food. You want to try and maximize that. So he could cut a couple of these. Yeah. Okay. No, almost a kill there. You saw the fire animation, almost complete. But yeah, so with this is one of the downsides to the Ancient Regime build. You can't mass loads of these guys, and their siege is not that great. Very good at killing villagers, but not good at sieging down infrastructure. So you can get away with a free fast fortress build. You know, and this isn't even the fastest fortress you can do. This is quite a greedy fortress because he went for dominions and then 700 wood. So literally just needs Minutemen defense here with the outpost and the town center. So very nice play here by Julian. Gets a free fortress build out of this. There is a trending meta with Sweden to get into fortress age these days. It's all about getting into fortress, getting the Savalax Jaegers out. He doesn't have the church shipment right now, so don't know. He's not going to be able to make them just yet. Hasn't killed a single villager yet. So Julian's defense here has been a very optimal. Could be getting more out here. Nah, wants to seep them out. You just need to make sure you keep 10, but keep popping the odd one out. Again, denying no villagers dead here. 2 Falcons first shipment. He doesn't have any units out right now, but he is sending 2 Falconets. Trying to squeeze in a torp here. That could be the first villager kill. I think it's going to be. So really nice stuff. Comes in with a flank there. Julian might not have been paying attention. And there's only 2 seconds left on this torp. Definitely worth sieging that down. So does manage to kill a torp and 1 villager. So finally gets some value here. He's just pouring these in. Making some hacker pellets. Definitely an on-meta unit. A very strong unit. And Revnax on 24 vills just pouring in these musketeers. In comes the Falconets from the outpost, and these Royal Musketeers are going to have to do the gauntlet run here. Tried to do a village. He should have left the villagers out, to be honest. Or he could have just kept 10 villagers inside his TC. Not the best micro here from Julian, actually. Either leave all of your villagers inside there. I would have just dripped out a couple of them to body block, but I would have kept 10 villagers inside my TC, because that would have killed them even faster. And Revnax deals with the 2 Falconets with relative ease. Yes, he loses a lot of Royal Musketeers, but he'll be happy with that trade. He'll definitely be happy with that trade. Sending in Wilderness Warfare here now, so CDBs and Native Warriors get 20% more hit points. So we'll get 220 hit points. We already see Native Warrior Combat and Team French Auxiliaries Combat have already come in. So these guys are very, very buff right now. Look at that. 232 HP for an Age 2 Musketeer. They also do 27 ranged attack, which is crazy, but their charged ability does 55. Just completely keeping Julian unable to gather any resources. The only thing that's gathering right now are the torps. These things are hitting like trucks right now. They're surviving an extra town center shot as well on top of all of this. So very, very beefy boys. Beefy boys from Revnax. He comes from a beefy family because his mum is beefy. She likes my beef as well, if you know what I mean. Okay, there comes, I think that's the 5 hacker pellet shipment. Still, okay, 2 more. Now he's probably got enough to defend here. Now he can kind of poke at these guys. He's got the town center fire still. Revnax putting his units on stagger mode. They're very smart. He knows hacker pellets have a 1 area of effect. And basically, by putting yourself in stagger mode, you completely negate the 1 area of effect. So hacker pellets essentially only have 24 range attack. No area of effect here. Julian is getting quite desperate. He's putting down a dock. Desperate or smart. Still on a healthy amount of torps, I would say. Revnax loses all of his units, and was all of this worth it? Well, he's bought himself enough time to get an age up for free here. Julian's lost his 2 falconets, which is huge, absolutely huge. So Julian's going to struggle to push here. He's not really going to be able to push the forward base for a while. He's going to need something, maybe more artillery or just or Savalax Jaegers, you know, something like that. But does he have the resources for it? He doesn't have a church either. And it's going to allow Revnax to age up here. He's going to age up fast, I imagine. Yep, the Exile Prince. He is on 2 TPs. No stagecoach, though. But he's going to be able to age up. He's going to have his own 2 falconets as well. So being sent here. A second Royal Embassy being sent. Now, don't forget, once he gets to age 3, he can get the Dragoons as well. The Royal Dragoons, which are kind of like a hacker pellet. They're like the Prince Elector units as well. So kind of like a hacker pellet in the sense of they are a Dragoon unit, but so they counter cav, but they are also very good in melee. So they're a soft, heavy cav at the same time, should they be needed to be used as it. So, also another thing that doing all of this pushing, yes, he didn't get that much value. He did get some value. The 2 Falcs, 1 Villager, 1 Torp, you know, some dead units. But also at the same time, he's been allowed to send 1, 2, 3 upgrade cards for natives. So he's allowed to get his natives very buff, very buffy. And that's interesting. So not going for 2 falconets here, going for native warriors, which means they cost 25% less. The longer this game goes on, the better that is going to be. That is potentially going to be this is a make or break shipment, by the way. This is a make or break shipment because this is either going to win him the game in the long run, or it's going to not allow him to get those 2 falcons out early and not get the pressure that he desperately needs here and the infrastructure damage that 2 falcons. I would go for 2 falcons, but we'll see. Julian with the big brain move, by the way. He's got some boats out and he's shipped over. He's shipped over 10 settlers over here. He knows that the North Sentinel Island over here, that I like to call it, there is a native on here, but there's also 2 coin mines. 2 copper mines, which he's going to be gathering from, which is absolutely massive because he doesn't want to gather from these because he doesn't want to waste the torps gathering from them, and also, but he doesn't have another safe gold mine to collect from. So traveling over here, this is what the boat boom was all about. Just getting villagers, as well as actually booming from boats. He can now get villagers over here and start booming as well. So really big brain move there by Julian to taxi his villagers all the way over here. And that you can see here, Revnax still isn't pushing in because he didn't send those 2 falconets. And I think that's I mean, he seems confident, obviously. Okay, we're gonna no Savalax Jaegers just yet, but he is sending Hessian Jaegers, so you can still make Jaegers once you've sent these, but you just can't make the Savalax Jaegers, which is generally better because it's a split of wood and coin, and they're like 5% far better. They got the stealth tech, all that sort of stuff. So Revnax is feeling confident. He feels like he's containing Julian here very, very well, but little does he know, Julian's being a sneaky little rat. The sneaky little rat that Julian is. That German little rat. That little rascal is over here on North Sentinel Island. He's gathering from 1 of the mines, and then the other one he's going to torp up for the... So he's getting the short-term investment, and he's also getting the long-term investment. So the best of both worlds with both of those mines. That I would do exactly the same. I think that's a fantastic call. Now that the Jaegers are here, I said he's going to need Jaegers before he pushes out, and that's exactly what he's doing here. So Jaegers versus Muskgoon. Skirmgoon's going to win in that. However, these goons are scary. Look at this. 25 range attack, 31 hand attack. Like I said, very good in melee. And obviously these veteran Royal Musketeers have got insane stats as well. So more HP than a Jaeger. Is he going to leave? These Royal Embassies are only 100 wood. Like, you don't need to worry about losing them. You know, like I said, only 100 wood. That's nothing. Julian's still just, just taking it. Oh, both going for the boat boom now. Interesting. Julian does have the frigate in his deck, so he does have some cards on the water. Does Revnax have his? Yes, he does. He has a frigate as well, and he has improved warships. So we could see some water battle going on here once they both realize they're on the water. I think Revnax already knows he's on the water because I think he... No! Wow! Do you remember when those Royal Musketeers came all the way over here? He didn't scout the dock, and that is because Julian placed the dock right on the tippy edge. Look, there's only one wooden beam pole here that's keeping this whole thing afloat. That beam pole there is doing a lot of work. I mean, it's like one of my legs when I have to keep Revnax's mum on my shoulders. Boy, does that one leg do all the work. And I'm talking about my third leg, if you know what I mean. Hi-ya! But anyways, so really nice, really good base building there by Julian. Putting the dock right on the very edge. He could have put it right on the very edge. He could have put it right in the very corner. Either works. And he just tries to make sure any scouting is going to be as tough as possible. And you saw the fighting that went on here earlier on. I actually thought he would have seen that dock, but I can't believe he didn't. So Revnax actually has no idea about the water boom here, which makes sense why he's being passive on the water as well. Tell you the one thing about these Royal Dragoons, they have a terrible fire. They may have the worst fire animation in the game. They do have 2.5 fire rate, which is 0.5 faster than a normal Dragoon. So once they start firing, they're very good damage output. But the fire animation, it's like your grandma trying to pick up a huge revolver. It's like, well, we got a big fight going on here. Just stick him in melee. Just stick him in melee. They do more damage in melee anyway, so why wouldn't you? Just put them on trample mode. I'm not sure about that. I am not sure about that. The two backs go down super easy there. Now it's just skirms versus Jaegers. Don't count these, you don't want to dive into these veteran Royal Musks. They are so tanky and damage outputting. Okay, so honestly, a great fight for Julian K there. A great fight for Julian K. He did lose his TP, so Revnax did take that down. But he just completely wasted his Royal Dragoons. And this is the thing with Royal Dragoons. They are a very good unit in one sense, but in another sense, you saw there, in a straight-up fight, fist fight with guns, like, they're absolutely diabolical. But, like I said, if you mix them in with other units and the fire animation does go off, they will then do 2.5 fire rate, which is very good. If they had a fast fire rate, they'd be broken. So often with these guys, you do tend to stick them in melee. They have bonuses versus cav in melee and artillery, so, you know, they are still very good in melee as well. I mean, technically their melee does more damage, and they attack faster, of course. So there is pros and cons to put them in the melee, but because they're a Dragoon type unit, you know, they have they don't have as much health and things like that. But yeah, anyways. And of course, when they've been buffed this much, you've got to make them, right? He probably does want to add in, you know, the Saxon Curs, probably wants to add in, or Winged Hussars. Royal Arquebuses would be very good here as well. So yeah, he can definitely start adding in lots of these native units, which he should be doing because it feels like a bit of a waste. Okay, so 53 villagers. Obviously, he's boat booming here. 45 for Julian, so Revnax has the advantage, but obviously Julian has torp, so the economies are very close. I'd say probably Revnax has a small advantage. He obviously has the map control as well, so still looking good for Revnax. He's bounced back on score. Finally, we get the Savalax Jaegers. They get a 5% increase. They've got 288 HP, so he's got another increase from somewhere else. But yeah, you can see there the Treaty of Roskilde. I think that's how you say it. Roskilde. I think you don't pronounce the L. I think that's what 3D Jacob told me. 3D, shout out to 3D Jacob. Go and follow his YouTube channel. He does amazing Age of Empires 3 content, particularly if you're a Hauser main. But yeah, I met him in real life and he told me how to say it. And of course, I forgot about it. Hiya! Classic Lionheart. Man, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, and you guys are trying to tell me how to pronounce certain words. God, I'm an English scumbag, all right? You talk my language, not the other way around, okay? My ancestors made sure a dipshit like me didn't have to learn another language because my ancestors knew how painful it was going to be. So they thought, do you know what? Fine, we'll take over the world and we'll make sure you don't have to speak another language. Cheers, ancestors! But until then, we get another big fight and Revnax popping the worst possible timing of 3 falconets. Oh, dearie me, losing 2 falconets for free. However, does still win the fight. Does still win the fight, but imagine if he didn't lose those falconets there. Instant Culverin production here from Julian K. Going for trample tactics, which is going to be basically just the 15% buff for the hacker pellets. So that's going to be nice. Julian K just really turtled up. Thank God. If it wasn't for this North Sentinel Island, he would have been absolutely screwed. You can see that he's starting to torp up trees here. He knows he can't torp up. There's no mines left. There's absolutely no mines left, apart from his starting mines, which are still slowly gathering in coin. You know, he hasn't sent Ironworks, Engelworks, whatever it's called. He hasn't sent an Ironworks, so they are going to be gathering for a long time. This mine's still got exactly half of its coin left. So he doesn't want to disrupt that. He wants to slowly. He doesn't want to mine them. He wants them to slowly come in. So as a result of that, he's going to have to torp up trees because there's nothing else to torp up. He does have boats, which are going to be able to gather from coin as well. So we can see that he's got, looks like 8 boats on coin. He's really only got 8 boats though. He hasn't gone all out on the water, which I think he can. He could have afforded to make more eco on the water here. But you can see here is Revnax is abusing these herds, denying them from Revnax. Oh, yeah, he's going to find this coin as well. Yeah, you can see there, really nice map control. That's exactly what it does, denying Julian the ability to gather from mines here. And he's gathering. All the mines have gone on the map almost. And now he's really pushing into Julian's side of base, his half of the map, to gather from them. And that's why map control is so important in this game. Not always, but you know, having map control does give you huge advantages. We got like 22 skirms versus like 30 odd skirmishers, and the Savalax Jaegers are gonna absolutely destroy them. Absolutely destroy them. The Culverin's gonna destroy the Falcons as well. This is why I think Revnax needed to make Archibusers. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Putting these guys into trample mode. I think that's the wrong idea. They do have free area of effect in trample mode. They will do so much damage. But honestly, the stampede attack as well. So when they move, guys, when they move around, they're doing 8 damage with 2 area effect. Wow, you saw that trample mode. It was one big gloop of mess there. But he's really trying to use that stampede attack. That's something you don't very often see. And honestly, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think. Who wants to do 8 damage just while moving? I mean, just fucking get those boys. Just stick him in melee. Just stick him in melee and start stabby wabby, you know? They've got a very good 37 hand attack. Just put them in melee, bruh. Don't worry about the stamp. The problem with stampede, like he was trying to do there, is if the units they're attacking are moving backwards and kiting, then they're too slow. They're not going to be able to catch up to them, so they're not going to be attacking. And also, because they're so slow, if they bump into other units, they're going to have to run around. They have to run around the base like this, run around those units with their terrible hitboxes, and they're just never going to catch anything because they're so slow in that mode. So Revnax trying to be clever with the stampede mode, I don't personally think that's worth it. He may know something I don't, but looking at it, I don't think the stampede attack is very good. but it's something you don't see very often, so it's interesting. I think if you're fighting static units, then yes, that's very good because the area effect does an insane amount of damage. But if you're fighting units that are constantly moving, which is most fights, it's just not worth it. 60 vills for Revnax, Julian K on 56. And yeah, look, he's just making these Savalax Jaegers. Wow, it has had to go for an estate. I think he sent the coin mine. Yeah, so he sent 3 copper mines. Something big's going on over here. Oh, it's huge raid going on with the Royal Dragoons. They are on stampede attack here, and you can see the area effect. Nay, boys, nay. Honestly, I think that's not worth it, but you know, is what it is. Julian rushing down some outposts, but you can see that there's Royal. I'm glad we caught that in time. The Royal Dragoons being taxied on the frigate over this north side of the map, and Julian even had a mill over here. So Revnax finally spots the water play and does a nice counter here. I mean, killing these 5 torps. Is there more than that? Yeah, there's 6, 7 torps here. That's gonna hurt. That is going to hurt. However, that being said, Julian can now start torping up these mines. He even put a mine down here. Yeah, he's gonna start seeing that. That's gonna be quite painful. That is gonna be quite painful. And now Revnax trying to squeeze Julian. Julian was trying to come to the edge of the map to try and take care of this frigate, just in case the frigate came into its line of fire. But it didn't, and now we've got a villager pool. These guys, wilderness warfare buffed. They're going to be tanky. And that's a double whammy. The double whammy. Beautiful micro there. The Falconet's coming in from the rear as well. Is it going to be enough, though? Is it going to be enough? The Savalax Jaegers. There's so many Savalax Jaegers. My goodness. Is he going to get a crack shot? Is he going to get a bombard ability? No. Oh, maybe. I don't know if he's got one. But he drops off the Royal Dragoon. That bombard attack from the frigate is going to do a lot of damage. It's like a frigate constantly hitting you. Oh, he's going to lose his frigate for free. No, that was bad. Really, really bad. I know there's a lot to micro here, but losing your frigate like that is really, really bad. And now Julian's going to send his own frigate. $49 vills for Julian. He's only on 49. We're almost coming up to the 30-minute mark. What a game this has been. And now Julian's turn to sneak in some Culverin shots. Doesn't kill a Falconet, though. But now it's 2 to 3 Culverins. But this mass of Savalax Jaegers is proving really difficult to beat. He's decided to go for Falconets instead of heavy cav, and I don't know if I like that. There's not that many hacker pellets. I think there's plenty of heavy cav options from the natives. He could go for the Saxon Kurds, he could go for the Winged Hussars. Like, he should really be going for the heavy cav options, I think, from the native. He's sent native cards already. Why wouldn't you go for the heavy cav here? The Savalax Jaegers are brutalizing the skirmishers. And Revnax, is he going to dive in here? He's had enough. He's had enough. In melee they go. Still putting them in this stampede attack. No, they're just in straight melee finally. 37 hand attack. They're just going to get absolutely meleeed. And that leaves the door open for the hacker pellets. He's saying you put them on hand attack. How about I go on hand attack? I've got 31 hand attack as well, baby. Let's go for it. Now, finally, some heavy cap, but it's only 1 shipment worth. And these Savalax Jaegers, there's so many are almost dead. Look at the HP bars of those Savalax Jaegers. Just nothing to finish them off. And all of the artillery gets cleaned up. And now there's a 10k score deficit for poor Whippo Revnax. Whap, whap, whap. He is not going to be happy with that. I mean, his micro was not particularly good there. His Revnax micro. His micro was pretty bad, I'll be honest. It just goes to show if you abuse OP civs in this game, you can reach rank 1. You don't have to have the best micro in the game. Shots fired. Pew, 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 pew. And look at this. 5 Azars, 5 Hacker Pellets, 5 Savalax Jaegers. Somehow Julian's able to just max out these stats. He's turtled in like his life depends on it. He was able to get away with all of these gathering up here. And now he's finally pushing out onto the map. Finally going to claw back some of that map control. Is he going to go for the siege? Yes, he is. Savalax Jaegers have 20 siege, which is pretty nice. And I'm not sure Revnax. I mean, he's on 3 TP Stagecoach on top of all of this. Yeah, he's down to 48 villagers. He lost a lot of villagers when he did this villager pull over here. And I don't think he has enough to get himself back into this game. He's still water booming as well. Both of these guys pretty much only built 7 or 8 boats each. Revnax has a frigate. I'm not sure where the frigate from Julian came. Maybe we missed a boat battle over here. I'm not really sure. Something going on. Oh, beautiful raid there from Julian, finding the coin mine. Oh, but he just kind of sent them there from a home city shipment. He didn't actually click attack until he just saw it there. Funny stuff. And Revnax trying to protect them, but just goes into the line of fire. Just put a target on my back, why don't you? Just losing all those Royal Dragoons, which are pretty expensive. Although they're cheaper, thanks to the cheaper native card. But Revnax not getting Saxon Curs or Polish Winged Hussars feels like a massive trip up this game. I mean, he sent 1, 2, 3, 4 native shipments, native buffs. And he decided not to get any heavy cav. He decided to go for artillery instead, which I think was the wrong decision. He's making a lot of spies here, which, of course, Savalax Jaegers are a mercenary. So that can go well, but there's just no, there's too much cav in the way, I think. Okay, Minutemen come in. He's still making more spies. He could dive the spies in here. Oh, the spies pop, and look how quickly they just delete 3 Savalax Jaegers. But there's too much cav, there's too much Jaegers in the way. But, oh, and there goes the GG. Revnax loses this game. It was very, very close all game. A couple of, honestly though, Revnax made a few mistakes, like the big falconet pops, not going natives, not going for the big land natives. Like, he didn't get a single, like, if you send that many native upgrades, like, you can't just rely on the ancient regime build, right? You need to, he was making skirms, like, bruh, just veteran skirms, just get these units. If you want skirms, go for the arquebusers. Go for the arquebusers. Look how cheap they are now. Look how cheap they are. Much cheaper than a skirmisher, and they're going to be way tankier than a skirmisher. And then you add in the heavy cav, of course. You know, get Hanseatic League, all that sort of good stuff. So it felt like a massive wasted opportunity. But Julian K just managing to limp in. I think the Doc saved his bacon this game. What a fight for survival this game was. Rank 2, no, I think Julian's rank 3. Revnax might be rank 4, maybe rank 5. So it's like rank 3 versus rank 4 this game. Very, very tight fight. And yeah, sometimes, guys, you can turtle in this game. Sometimes you don't need the map control, but having water control is also very, very important. Valuable lesson learned. 83 skirms made to 89 hacker pellets. I'm sure he made a very similar amount of Savalax Jaegers as well. Military population. I think Revnax, his the royal units do take population. So yeah, very even population match here. But you can see how Revnax was just taking bad fights all the time. His remasses were good because he had the cheaper native shipment. But again, not sending those 2 falconets instead of that cheaper native card, I think was a big deal here this game as well. I think that was another big factor. I think he should have gone for the 2 falcons earlier and started oppressing the torps, and that would have put pressure on his eco. But anyways, what a fantastic game. What a fantastic game. And guys, you are fantastic yourselves. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic week, and have a fantastic life. And I will catch you in the next fantastic game. Peace.